Hi friends, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, then welcome to the channel. Feel free to watch episode 1 where you get to know us. And well, it's just a really good video to watch. I'm doing this a little differently today. I'm going to do this off the cuff. And I wanted to introduce you to Aramis. He's my little boy. Here he comes. See what he does. Well, go on, be a movie star. He's unsure. He's my scaredy boy. What do you think, scaredy boy? Do I need to zoom out even further? Oh, that's all we're getting. So the backdrop that you're seeing here is a quilt top that I just recently finished. I will show you a better picture of that. It's not done. It's getting there. Now he's causing trouble on the other side here. You can't see him, but this probably wasn't a good idea. All right, stop. Okay. So it is a Blackbird's design, and it's called Midnight Silhouette. I actually purchased the kit from Shabby Fabrics when they offered it. It's so pretty. and there's Aramis's tail. Are you done, buddy? Okay, and in this video we'll have March wrap-up, April plans, and projects from the past 2019. And first up is the Bookshelves Daily Temperature Blackwork by Peppermint Purple. I bought this off of Etsy. Now they do also have a website where you can purchase this on. I'm sorry, it's not crooked. Well, it is crooked, but it's crooked when I put it on the Q-snap or the scroll frame. This is done on 20 count white Aida, and I got a yard of it from 123 Stitch, and I'm just cutting it up as I need it. The flosses that I'm using is a combination of Victorian Motto and DMC that's called for. And I'm working the shelf each month on Sunday. So then I do the whole week on that Sunday, and then I put it away again for a whole week. And I've been bullet journaling since 2016. So I have every day I put in the weather in my bullet journal. So all I do on Sunday is just take those numbers that I have been recording all week, put them on a piece of paper, figure out which color corresponds with which temperature, and then I just go to town. Now on March, the clock I decided to place where daylight savings is. It's actually supposed to be a little bit more centered, but I thought it'd be kind of unique to put it where the daylight savings cutoff is for the United States. Oops, I gotta adjust. And there we go. And this is Florence Mary Dickinson. She was the Hands Across the Sea exclusive for the Hobby House Needleworks. And let me show you a picture of where I was at the end of February. Okay, and she is done on 40 count Zweigart linen in the color flax. And I'm using the Auvers Soie d'Alger that is called for in the pattern. And I love her. She is fun. Now obviously I haven't done a lot on her this month. But we'll get to that in just a second. Okay, and I'm going to put a picture up for you. That background probably is distracting, and I'm sorry. Next time I'll just put the whiteboard back up. But here's a picture of Miss Anne, where I was at in February. And here's where she is now. Let me back up. Now this is Anne Uffendell. And I got her when Hands Across the Sea did the reprint. So I have two booklets, one for her and one for her sister. And she's done on a 40 count Zweigart, which 40 count is my favorite count to work on. And the Zweigart fabric, as pretty much everybody else on the planet uses the same thing and enjoys that, is my favorite fabric. Now, I get that from 123 Stitch. It's usually fairly decently priced, not too terribly expensive. And they have, you know, they don't have a large range of colors, but they have colors that I like to use for samplers. And this particular color is their Country Mocha, which is also very popular. A lot of people use it. Now, I chose to use the DMC that's called for in the pattern. And generally, I don't go around and do the border first. However, because I'm over halfway done, I wanted to kind of see where she ended and what I had left to go. And as you can see, all of this right here, I'm very excited to get her finished. And that's all I got done for March. Unfortunately, I did end up getting sick. My husband brought something home. It knocked me out for about 3 days. And so, of course, no stitching was done. So this is also something I worked on in March. It is the Widget Messenger Bag pattern from Sarah Lawson of So Sweetness. I made this bag because we are going to be visiting my dad in Reno towards the end of the month. He's 80. His health hasn't been all that good. So my husband and I decided we were going to go out and visit him for a week. And I wanted a bag that I could use as a purse, but also as a way to carry on my entertainment and media onto the plane. Here you can see there's a grommet. You put your headphone cord through there if you have headphones that are, corded. Here's a spot for the phone and your pens. There's a loop here for your keys. In the main pocket, there is a mesh pocket and also an inside pocket and lots of space. I'm going to be putting my Kindle, and probably Pandemic will probably fit in here, which is the piece that I'm going to take with me because I've been stitching in hand with that. And then, of course, a little outer zipper. I absolutely love this cat fabric. It made me smile. So I did spend a few days making that. Okay, and that takes us into April plans or April focus pieces. The first one I want to show you, and then, if you've seen the first video, then you've seen this. This is nothing to write home about. There isn't really much here yet. But this is the thread I'm using. It's Sulky. This is Pandemic. It is by Long Dog Sampler. And it's on 18 count Aida. And that is literally all I've done. Not very much. And as you can see, that's all I've got done. It's a start. I chose the 18 count Aida because I don't need a magnifier to see the holes. And this is, a piece that I was using to try to stitch in hand with. The Aida, sadly, I don't know where it came from, if I hand dyed this or if I purchased this way. I forgot to mark it. The Sulky thread is in the color Ocean Blue. The next thing I want to focus on in April is Prim Stitch by Lori Holt. There we go. I've been working on this for a while. And here's a little packet, and you can see all the different months are in there. The colors that I'm using are Victorian Motto. I went ahead and did a color conversion. I have so much Victorian Motto. I was in the Victorian Motto thread club for 2 years, and at the time it sounded like it was a really great idea because I really didn't have a lot of fancy floss, so I didn't have a large collection because I had just come back from a 25-year hiatus of cross stitching. So I really did, all I had was DMC, which there's absolutely nothing wrong with DMC. It's just sometimes you just want to have a fancy floss to use. So that's when I decided to join their club. Now I joined both the prim colors and the vivid colors, or whatever it was at the time. So I was getting double batches. I was getting 12 colors a month. So you can imagine how much floss I have from them. So I really am focusing on using my stash. So that's that one. And lastly, don't anybody yell at me, but I have a new start. Big surprise. I was watching Brenda, the handwork maniac, and she had this piece, and it reminded me that I really wanted to do it. But now I went ahead and said, you know what? It was just my birthday on the 29th, so this is my birthday start. It is Hoity Toity by Long Dog Samplers. Now this is the same 20 count Ada that I'm using for the bookshelf, the temperature bookshelf. I think it looks okay. I'm doing 1/1. I'm using DMC, and I'm converting some of the colors into colors that I prefer. Nothing wrong with the original. I'm just not a big fan of reds and pinks, so mine's going to be blues and purples. This is what I got done in 2 or 3 days. So it's moving quite quickly, which is nice. I'm excited about it. It's a lot of fun. So again, this is Hoity Toity, Long Dog Samplers, 20 count Ada, DMC, my conversion. I'm using Pattern Keeper, so I kind of already know. I have a little mock-up of what it's going to look like, and I think it's going to be really pretty. So stay tuned for that. And that wraps up April. Next, I'm going to take you to the Mermaid Wall, which is going to be the segment for projects from the past. And I'm excited to show you those. Okay, here we are. This is the dubbed Mermaid Wall. That one there is Plum Street, Mermaid Fractor. The one in the middle is my very first Mirabilia that I ever did. It is Mermaids of the Deep Blue with a color conversion. And the last one there is the Black Pearl. I'm going to take you closer here in just a second. Okay. Here's a closer look. This is Mermaid Fractor, Plum Street. It's a 40 count linen, lakeside linen. The color is Sea Storm. And the overdyed flosses that are called for, I finished that on a wooden plaque that I got from Walmart with some jute ribbon there and a little sea star or sea fish, sand dollar. I have a piece of batting behind the stitching, and then it's mounted on some foam core. And then I glued the foam core to the wood. And I'm going to skip over the Mermaids of the Deep real quick. We're going to do Black Pearl. This is a primitive hare. It's a 32 count linen, and picture this plus, and the color's ale. I love this color. It's very dark, so you have to be careful with what you use it with. And finally, we have Mermaids of the Deep Blue. I will insert a picture of what it's supposed to look like. I did a color conversion that I found from a girl who had posted her color conversion on Pinterest. back in 2018 when I first started this. So I started this in August 2018, finished them in January 2019. The fabric that I'm using is a 32 count Picture This Plus in the color Dwarf. I used all the beads. The threads is DMC. Even though the conversion I used the DMC. So this was my very first Mirabilia. This was my very first time stitching on linen. This was the first time I had used beads, and I use the invisible thread to attach the beads, and it's super easy. Beading is super easy. Do not be afraid of beading. It is time consuming, but nothing to be scared of. Let me zoom in so you can see some of the details. So there you can see. I love these girls so much. I absolutely love them. I hope that this camera is stable enough that nobody's getting seasick, because I would absolutely hate that. I'm trying to be very careful, but I want you guys to see the detail in this. Just beading and back stitching and just all its glory. I absolutely love them. I sign my work, which from far away, I don't think you can actually see that. So let's see. Yeah, from far away, you don't even see the signature. This is my mermaid wall. As you can see, there's the, right here, whatever. Anyway, the curtain rod. And on this side here, nice blank wall that I'm going to be putting Shores of Hawk Run Hollow. If I ever finish that, it's going to go right next to these girls. And that is a look at my projects from the past 2019. Thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know if you like the off the cuff or the voiceover better. Obviously the voiceover is going to be more of a smoother transition and you probably hear it better. Miss Pandora in her window, my queen, and all of her thousands of blankets that she sleeps on. Anyway, I hope you guys are well and start all the things. I will see you at the end of April, beginning of May. Thank you. What are you doing? Easy. You're off frame.